There's some famous quote that says something like, be kind to one another. You never know what another person is going through. And so, just in honor of the fact that when we meet people, we don't know what they're going through. So, kindness, we should all be more kind. So, that was kind of what drove this class. So, as you're ready, I'm going to invite you just to find a nice, comfortable seat. You can have the hands just resting gently in your lap. You can close your eyes or have a soft gaze towards the floor. And then we're just going to make sure that that tailbone's pressing down towards the mat and the crown of your head is reaching up towards the sky, or in your case, up towards the grapes. And just let yourself relax in here for a few breaths. You can notice the temperature of the air around you and how it feels on your skin. And start to notice your physical body. See if there's anywhere you can find ease. Sometimes we hold a little bit of tension in our legs and even in this easy seat. You can start to notice your breath and just where it's showing up in your body, the depth of the breath, the quality of it. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. The last one. So go ahead and tuck your chin down towards your chest. And then let your hands come out of your lap so that your hands are down on either side of your hips. I'm going to invite you to keep your eyes closed until I cue for you to open them. So we're going to take a fresh inhale and start to lift the head and the arms up towards the sky. And once you feel like you've gone as far as you're going to go, open your eyes, looking up towards the sky or the ceiling. That's your inhale. And then exhale, chin comes back down towards chest, eyes closed, hands on either side of the hips. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, lifting the arms and the gaze up, but keeping the eyes closed just yet. And then when you reach the tip of the inhale, open your eyes. Exhale, chin into chest, hands down either side. 2 more, your breath. Try to breathe in and out through the nose. And keep the chin down towards the chest, hands on either side of the hips as you finish that last round. Bring just a little awareness to the spine, keeping it nice and long. And we'll inhale, and with the chin down towards the chest, we're going to then turn the chin and the nose over towards the right shoulder. Once it gets there, open the eyes, look to the right. Let the chin come through the chest, eyes closed. Moving over to the left, and once you find that edge, open your eyes to the left. Now move with your breath. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhaling over to the right. One more round. And then after you finish looking over to the left, bring the chin down towards the chest, close the eyes. Take an inhale, bring the hands to the heart and slowly lift the gaze. And once your gaze lifts or your head lifts, open your eyes. Welcome. All right, we're going to move from this comfy seat over into table. Feel free to put a blanket under your knees. And then once you get into your table, tops of the feet are on the mat, lengthen through the spine. So reach the crown away, reach the tailbone back, and we'll move through 4 rounds of cat-cow. So taking an inhale, lifting the crown and the tailbone, and then exhale to bring it in. Fully exhaling. And give yourself one more round. After you round in that last time, we'll come back to a neutral spine. So you've got your knees under your hips. What I want you to do is to take your right knee and bring it more in the center. So it's more in line with your navel. But back, it's not even with your navel. It's just lined up even with it. All right. Take an inhale, send this left leg back, flex that left foot like you're pressing into an imaginary wall behind you. Hold it here, one more breath. And we're going to take this left leg and we're going to cross it so that that left knee is right behind the right one. So I've got my legs crossed. I'll turn around so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So from here, we're just going to wag our hips just a little bit. So you just find some breath and move from side to side. And this will get us a little bit into the side body and into that hip flexor on the outside of the left leg. If you tuck your tailbone in just a little bit, it'll change the stretch. And come back to stillness. Send that left leg long behind you one more time, pressing that foot away, feeling that stretch through the calf. And then we'll lower that left knee. So then scoot that right knee over just a little bit so that left knee can come into center. Take a fresh breath and send that right leg back behind you, pressing it with that foot flexed. And then we'll cross it right behind that left knee. And then we'll just start to wag from side to side. And again, curling the tailbone in changes the stretch just a bit. And the last one. Come back to stillness and then send that right leg long behind you. And then go ahead and set that knee down. Reset your knees right under your hips. Find that long spine. Go ahead and curl your toes. Take an inhale. And then we'll exhale into down dog. So just pedaling through the feet here, staying connected to the breath. If you feel like you're holding weight in your hands, just press into the hands just a little bit more and lift your hips. Don't worry about whether or not your whole foot is connected to the mat. Give yourself one more breath right here. And we'll begin to take a slow walk up to the top of our mats, and we'll meet there in a forward fold, letting the torso roll over the thighs. We'll take an inhale here, halfway, lengthening through that spine, reaching the crown away. And then exhale, give yourself a slow release back down towards the mat. Inhale down low. And then exhale, give yourself a slow rise, honoring your low back. We'll come up to stand. Once you come to standing, close those eyes or have a soft gaze towards the floor. Just take a moment here to feel your feet connected to the earth. Softness through the knees, length through the spine. We'll take a fresh breath, reach the arms up over the head, send the gaze up as well. And then exhale those palms down in front of the heart in prayer, bow chin to chest. Keep the eyes closed. Inhale, lift the hands and the head up towards the sky. Open the eyes when you get there. And then exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest, palms on either side of the hips. Keep the eyes closed. Inhale, looking up as you lift the arms up over the head. Eyes open here. And then exhale, give yourself a forward fold. And give yourself 4 or 5 breaths here just to shimmy side to side, getting a little bit deeper into those hips and the hamstrings. One more breath. All right. Bring those palms to the mat and go ahead and step back into down dog. One more breath. Go ahead and bend your knees so you can bring those knees down to the mat, but keep those arms long towards the top of your mat. Tops of the feet come back to the mat. And then slowly start to send the hips forward and then down towards the floor. And we'll come into up dog this way. Gaze up towards the sky. One more breath. Slowly let the elbows start to bend in towards the ribs, and we'll lower all the way down to the mat. So once you get down onto your mat, you're going to send your right arm out even with your shoulder into what I call a half T. And you're going to send this left arm long over your head. Let your left cheek come to the mat. Just giving yourself a breath, letting everything release. And then go ahead and send this right knee up, even with the right hip, only if it feels okay. You can keep it lower if you need to. So you're on the inside edge of your right ankle is on the floor. We're just getting into that right hip. Send the right arm up overhead, lift the head. So now both of your arms are in front of you. And then slowly press your palms into the mat until you bring your elbows under your shoulders. Press the elbows into the mat, lift through the upper body, and you'll start to feel a deeper stretch to the back. And release through that left hip. One more breath. All right. Take your right hand and put it where your right elbow was. Put your left hand under your left elbow or where your left elbow was and curl your left toes. You're going to press in so that your right knee comes under your right hip. Go ahead and lift that left leg behind you just like we did at the beginning of class. And then go ahead and step it through. So you're just bringing that left foot through. So now you're in a kneeling crescent. Curl your right toes and lift your hips to come into a low lunge. And then you're going to press into that left foot and lift yourself up into crescent. You can always keep that right knee down on the mat if you need to. Open your arms into a T so that you've just got your arms even with your shoulders on either side. And we're going to move into eagle arms here. So you're going to bring your right arm and bend the elbow, and then bring the left arm to rest inside of it by bending the elbow. And then the backs of your hands or your palms are touching so that you can look through your forearms. And then go ahead and lift them up. Find a place in between your forearms to gaze up. One more breath. Release the arms back into the T. Inhale the arms and the gaze up. And then exhale to bring them back down to the mat. Step yourself back into down dog. One more breath. Bend your knees, let them come back down to the mat. Tops of the feet to the mat. Keep those arms out in front. And then we're going to move right back into that up dog just like we did before. So you're releasing the hips down towards the floor, staying soft through the glutes and sending the gaze up. Inhale. Keeping the ribs in towards the chest. Use your exhale to lower all the way back down. And then you'll send that left arm out into that half T to the left. Right arm goes up above your head. Right cheek comes to the mat. Take a breath. And then bend this left knee up towards the left hip or any place in between, whatever feels okay in your body. Take 2 breaths. Lift your head, send your gaze towards your right thumb, and then lift this left arm up above your head. And once you get there, use your palms to press in so that you can come back to elbows under shoulders. Pressing the elbows into the floor, lift the crown of the head. Bring your left hand where your left elbow was. Move your right hand where your right elbow was and curl your right toes. Press in so that you can bring that left knee under the left hip. Now send that right leg back behind you just like we did at the beginning of class, and then step the right foot through. Low lunge, or excuse me, crescent. Now curl your left toes and come into that low lunge. And then inhale to move up into crescent. Open the arms into the T. This time the right arm goes underneath the left. And lift the elbows so you can find a place to gaze in between the backs of your forearms. Open your arms into the T. And then inhale to lift the gaze and the arms. Exhale down the hands to the floor. Step it back to down dog. One more breath. All right. Bend your knees, press into the balls of your feet, and we'll ripple into a full plank or kneeling plank, your choice, long spine. Inhale. And then exhale to lower all the way back down to the mat. Tops of the feet come to the mat. Keep those hands right under the shoulders. Keep the booty and the back body muscles nice and relaxed. And inhale to lift the crown of the head, send the gaze forward. Give yourself 2 more breaths right here. Lower the head, press into the hands, and bring yourself back to table. So reset those knees under the hips, hands are under shoulders, long spine. We're going to send that right leg long behind us again, pressing those foot away. And then let the toes come back down towards the mat. And then send them over where they're on the opposite side. So again, I'll move so that you can see me. So you should look like this. So your toes are over to the left. With that long spine, take a fresh inhale. And then exhale to send your gaze towards those right toes. Keep the right foot on the floor and start to half circle it where it comes wide over outside of your right leg. Right sole of the foot comes to the earth. Strong through the arms. Make sure that left wrist is right under the left shoulder. You're going to get really light on this right hand. And we're going to inhale and send the right arm up towards the sky. Send the gaze towards that right thumb. One more breath. Inhale. Send the gaze back down towards your mat. Replace that right hand right under your right shoulder and bring that right knee in. We're going to move through the other side and do the exact same thing. So we'll take an inhale to send this left leg behind us, pressing away, staying strong through the core muscles, long spine. Let those left toes come back down to the mat. And then we're going to circle them over behind that right foot, over to the right. Take an inhale. And then exhale to look back at those left toes. Keep the left toes on the floor. Let it half circle all the way over, even with that left hip. Left sole of the foot comes to the mat. Make sure the right wrist is under the right shoulder, light on those left fingertips. Fresh inhale, sending these left fingertips up towards the sky, gaze to that left thumb. See if you can relax the back body. Lower that left hand down under the left wrist. Bring that left knee under the left hip. Curl your toes, take an inhale, and then exhale back into down dog. One more breath right here. Go ahead and give yourself a slow walk back up to the top of your mat, and we'll meet back there in a forward fold. We'll take an inhale halfway, long spine, and then exhale to release back to the floor. Let that breath completely go. Inhale down low, and then exhale, slow rise, coming up in a way that honors and serves your body. This time, as the hands come near the hips, give yourself a fresh breath. Reach the arms and the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale to bring the hands down in front of the heart, bow chin to chest. And give yourself a couple of breaths right here. So go ahead and make sure that you feel connected, that the feet are connected to the mat. So maybe rock back and forth. So we're going to move into eagle now. So we'll start by taking an inhale and moving over to the left side of the body. And once you get there, lift this right knee up towards your navel, and then let that right leg cross over the left. So in super little small bodies, that right foot would hook around that left calf. It does not happen in my body, and it's okay if it doesn't happen in yours. So you're going to sink the hips back and find your balance. And then if you want to add in arms, you can send the arms out into a T. And then this right arm is going to cross underneath the left to find eagle arms. Gaze is through the backs of the forearms. Inhale to open the arms into a T, and then back to prayer. Lift that right knee up towards your chest, and then set it down. Reconnect with the feet. Give yourself a couple of breaths. And keep that soft gaze. Inhale. And move your body weight over to your right side. Really find that length through the spine. Feel that engagement through the center of your body as you take a fresh inhale and lift this left knee. You can cross that left knee over the right, and then go ahead and start to send the hips back. You could do this against a wall if it makes it easier and more stable for you. And then if you want to add in arms, bring them out into a T. This time left arm underneath right, and finding a focal point in between your forearms. Bring the hands back into the T. Palms come in front of the heart. Pressing into that right foot, sending the left knee up and then down. Give yourself 2 breaths. Soften through the knees. Take an inhale, send the palms and the gaze up. And then exhale to forward fold. So a little softness in the knees will help release anything in the low back. Let the palms come to the mat, step the feet back, find down dog. One more breath. Bend those knees, press into the balls of the feet. We're rippling into one more plank. You can bring those knees down if you need to. Take an inhale. And then exhale, lower all the way back down to your mat. Once you get down to the mat, let the tops of the feet come back to the floor. And then reach those arms long above you. So you're going to keep the head lifted here. And right now you're pressing your arms into the mat, but you're going to lift your arms up just a bit and then reach the hands behind you and see if they can clasp at the low back. If they can't clasp, just send the fingertips towards your toes with the hands engaged down, reaching them towards your feet. So then what we'll do is we'll keep that head up, but we'll take an inhale and see if we can lift the feet and lift the arms away from the sacrum, from the hips, and send the gaze forward. You could also have the arms out in a T if that's easier and more comfortable for your body. One more breath. Beautiful. Release your feet back to the floor. Release your hands from behind you and bring those hands right back under your shoulders. We're going to press up to come back to table. And then we're going to swing our feet over to one side so that you can come down onto your back with your knees bent and the soles of your feet on the mat. So just take a breath or two here, feeling that back connected to the earth, just releasing everything. Release the shoulders, release the jaw. All right. So just like at the beginning, when we put the knee and the center in line with the navel, we're going to take this right foot and put it more in the center where the knee and the whole leg is in line with the navel. And then we're going to send this left leg up towards the sky. You can circle the ankle here, point and flex the foot. So you can bring your arms out into a T. We're going to cross this left leg over the right. Take a fresh breath. And then let those knees fall over to the right. If it's too much to keep the legs crossed here, uncross and just stack the knees on top of each other. So give yourself 3 or 4 breaths right here. Last breath. Bring the knees back up towards the sky. You can uncross them and let both hips come back down towards the mat. So if you need to reset the hips, go right ahead. And then that left foot's going to come in line with the navel and the right leg goes up towards the sky. More of your back comes into contact with the mat. Enjoy that. And give yourself some foot circles, point and flex. Go ahead and bend that right knee and let it cross over the left. Take an inhale. And then slowly let the knees fall over to the left. Again, same thing. If it's too much, uncross and just stack the knees. Resting in here for 4 more breaths. Last one. Bring the knees back up towards the sky and uncross the legs. Just let the feet come back to the floor. And then you can bring the knees into the chest. Let the arms come right below the kneecaps. You can just give yourself a little side to side shimmy here, releasing anything in the low back. Two more breaths. And I'm going to invite you to, if there's something I didn't offer, but your body has just said, hey, I'd really like it if you'd stretch in this way, feel free. I'll give you 4 or 5 breaths for whatever I didn't offer that your body is asking for before we make our way into Shavasana. So you can go ahead and find whatever Shavasana will be for you today. Feel free to send your legs up the wall or just to lie on your back on your mat, whatever feels good. You can make your way there. When you find that perfect spot for you for just the next moment or so, give yourself a nice big deep inhale and exhale through the nose, completely relaxing into the mat. You can slowly start to bring some awareness into this space that you and I have created together. You can bring some movement into the hands and the feet. And then you can roll onto one side or the other to press yourself up. I'm going to meet you in an easy seat. And I'm going to go ahead and read our quote for today because I want to use that also as our writing prompt. It's one of my favorite, it's not a poem, but it's one of my favorite writings, and it's by Ram Dass. And it says, when you go out into the woods and you look at trees, you see all these different trees, and some of them are bent, and some of them are straight, and some of them are evergreens, and some of them are whatever. And you look at the tree and you allow it. You see why it is the way it is. You sort of understand that it didn't get enough light, and so it turned that way. And you don't get all emotional about it. You just allow it. You appreciate the tree. The minute you get near humans, you lose all of that. And you are constantly saying, you're to this, or I'm to that. That judging mind comes in. And so I practice turning people into trees, which means I get to appreciate them just the way they are. So, your prompt for today is, what does it mean to you to have new eyes, a new way of seeing? I'll give you just a couple of moments to write down whatever comes to mind. It's going to be about 30 more seconds. As you finish up anything else that you might want to write, I just want you to take a mental note of how it feels in your body in this moment. Do you feel tense? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel at ease? Sharing your thoughts, recording your thoughts in a physical way. Just note that. And we'll close out this class and then we can share. So, meet me with your hands at your heart, chin bowed down towards chest. May you see yourself and others with new eyes. May you know kindness and may you be kind. And until we meet again, gratitude for practicing with me. Namaste.